Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the WERC once again. It is time for the Race of Champions again. It's that time of year, and it's great to be back once again. My name is Jack, and I'll be guiding you through the action today for this wonderful event. Now, the format, Race of Champions style format, if you've ever watched it on TV, it is exactly pretty much the same. But we do it our own way here at WERC. So we've got 7 of the best Rallycross drivers on the game and some of the best rally drivers on the game. They're going to be doing their own races. RX will be going up against RX drivers, Rally going up against Rally. And first of all, we're going to be guiding you through the action for the Rallycross 8th finals. We've got the 8th finals, the quarterfinals, and then the semi-finals, and then the final. So we've got a full days worth of action for you today. Race of Champions, by the way, it is a format as follows. We're going to be using the Hell Rallycross circuit in Norway, and it'll be a 1v1 race. So the driver who starts on the outside line on the start line will have to take to the Joker on lap number 1. And then the other driver will have to do it on the second lap. We chose Hell because the Joker lap is very, very short, and it provides a very, very short, it's very equal in comparison to the normal lap if you took the standard lap. So the first up at the moment are the Rallycross drivers. We're just getting the lobby set up as we speak. So the 8th finals for the Rallycross will be up first, followed by the 8th finals for the Rally. Then, of course, we go to the quarterfinals for the Rallycross, and then the quarterfinals for the Rally, and so on and so forth until we get to the final 2 races, which are the consolation final and the final. The final is a best of 5, and the 8th finals and quarterfinals are the best of 3. So there's 3 different possible car choices in this one. So lobby getting set up as we speak at the moment, and you'll be able to distinguish who's who with different liveries. One car will be black, the other one will be white, so it's very, very easy to discern. But lobby number 1 is about to come up in just a few moments time while I get all my notes ready. So it will be Ludwig Rossibo up against Steen. No Control is the first one on screen for you in just a moment's time. We're just currently loading up the lobbies, and it is going to be really, really interesting. So you'll be able to guide you through the format as we go, so it's much easier for me to explain it when it's actually happening in front of me. So just give us a few moments and we'll be getting underway. We're about to get underway now for the first race of the day. So it is a possible best of 3 in this one. So the Rallycross drivers have different car choices compared to the rallies, but the Rallycross all have a choice of Rallycross cars. Now the first one is going to be the 2019 RX Supercars, and they've got to choose the Seat Ibiza Rallycross car. Now the first is, of course, Steen, part of No Control, and Ludwig Rossibo for newly signed for Comrade Gaming CRG. So he's going to be in the black car, and Steen is going to be in the white car. So it'll be very easy to tell them apart. So it is going to be... I'm already getting told off for pronunciation. Thanks, Nigel. It's Stain. I should know that. I really should.
Use the Joker lap to your advantage.
I've been in Germany long enough. But anyway, here we go for race number 1 in this Race of Champions on WERC. So, in the black on the outside, Ludwig Rossibo. On the inside is, of course, Stain, No Control.
There is a small jump over the start line, but it's fast.
It's going to be a very, very good race. Here we go, on the outside, Ludwig Rossibo. And we are going to get underway. We're going to be looking at Ludwig as he begins this one. Ready to race, light on for the Race of Champions. Green light, and we're away. Good start for both of them. Now Ludwig Rossibo are going to have to go to the Joker on lap number 1, while Stain will go to the standard lap. So sticking with our Ludwig Rossibo here now, trying to keep it nice and steady over the Joker, then dropping downhill into the left-hander at the bottom of the hill now. So he needs to keep a good delta. He needs to keep his foot flat here to try and keep up with Stain. Now, very easy corner to get wrong here. This downhill 90-degree right hander. You got to fling it in, use as much of the curve as you possibly can on the inside line now as we come through the left-hander, and beginning now to see how Stain is going to get on. We're going to go to him now as he comes across the start-finish line. He will go to the Joker Lab now. How close is this going to be on the merge? It is going to be ever tight here as they come through the Joker Lab. It looks like Stain's going to get out in front of Ludwig here. No, Ludwig gets just about in front, side by side they go. Stain goes up the inside, pushes him out wide, and Stain gets out in front in this first race. He looks like he's going to take it, but that was marginal right there. So close on the merge. Stain comes out in front in race number 1. He's going to come through. If he manages to keep it clean in the last few corners, he is going to take race number 1, and he goes 1-0 in this first race. Around the last corner, Stain for no control. He takes the first race here in the race of champions in the 8th finals, and Ludwig Roswell not too far behind. Ludwig got out in front, but it is very tight. So that is the first race done, and now it is going to be a case of the next car. So it's 1-0 for Stain. He is going to be now hoping to go 2-0. If he wins this next race, he will go automatically through to the quarterfinals. But if Ludwig manages to win this next one, then of course it will go to a tiebreak. So very interesting stuff right there. Typical Joker merge in hell. You're fighting hard for it, and the classic magnetic cars on the exit of the Joker. So not too much, but it was hard racing. So the next one about to come up then. So we've got that one done. Stain 1, Ludwig 0. So next up is going to be our next car choice. Now it's the cross kart that they've got to worry about. So a very different car. So you're going from it's not the cross kart, sorry, it's the RX2. The RX2, sorry. Which is going to, or no, it is the cross kart. I'm correct. I have about 50 million things in front of me, but it is the cross kart that's about to light up our screens with the next race, which is, of course, a rear-wheel drive motorbike engine kart. It is very quick and very difficult to control. So looking forward to this one. So it is going to be a very different car. We had a 4-wheel drive monster machine there in the Seat Ibiza RX. Now we've got a rear-wheel drive, basically go-kart on dirt, and these are not easy beasts to control. So we're going to set up the second lobby, and then we will be underway for race number 2. And here we are, just about to get underway here. And we will load in just a moment's time to begin race number 2. So, Stain taking the win in race 1. Now, if he wants to automatically go straight through to the quarterfinals, he needs to win this one. If Ludwig's got to win this one to take it to the tiebreaker round, which will be held in just a moment in the Opel Corsa Super 1600 car. So 3 different disciplines of cars right here. So let's get ready to go in just a second. There is Ludwig joining the lobby, and we can get our way. So just load in a few moments' time. Stick with us, folks, and we will be underway. again, sorry for the delay on this one, folks. There's just been a few issues that we're trying to sort out in the background, but we are we're just about to get started once again now. After a few attempts of me getting kicked from a lobby or being unable to connect to a lobby, I think we might finally be ready to get underway here. So here we go. Race number 2 about to come your way in just about a minute's time, loading into these sessions as we speak. Here we go. It is the cross cart for race number 2. Rear-wheel drive, very lightweight, motorbike engine, and very, very hard to handle, especially around this particular circuit. It's a very different driving style to the RX supercart. You got to be really smooth and steady with the cross cart. If you get too early on that power, it is going to spin. Right, here we go.
Use the Joker lap to your advantage. You only need
So
to take it
it
once.
is
If you
now
miss it, you'll get a time penalty.
race number 2. Just remember, it is going to be Ludwig on the inside and Stain on the outside this time.
Because you'll leave yourself open to attacks from behind.
So of course we're going to be following Stain as he goes into the Joker. Here we go then. Ready to race light on for race number 2. Green light, we're a great start from Ludwig Rossimo. That time he got away a full car length as they come into turn number 1. But it is going to be Stain going to take immediately to the Joker lap in that cross cart. Gets it really nicely in tow as he comes over the bump in the curb. Now down the hill, but it was a fantastic getaway from Ludwig that time. Absolutely nailed the start. But I think it could be, this one could go to Ludwig if he manages to keep it together for this entire lap. So now over the brow of the hill, 3.4 seconds the delta as they come over the hill, flinging it into the left-hander now. Let's flick to Ludwig as he begins his final lap around this circuit. He's going to have to take to the Joker on this lap. Flings it into turn 1, then into the Joker, keeps it nice and steady, very, very neat and tidy in comparison to Stain. Now down the hill he comes. Where is Stain? Is he going to get out in front? Yes, it is going to be Ludwig Rossimo by quite some margin actually over Stain. So this is going to go the way of Ludwig in this one, and it's going to go to the tiebreaker as long as there are no mistakes from Ludwig in this last few sectors. Up and over the hill he comes then. And yeah, it is going to be Ludwig Rossimo to take this one quite easily in comparison to the Stain. Over the hill then, Ludwig Rossimo wins this one, and it's going to go to the tiebreaker to see who's going to get to the quarterfinals. I was right up the alley of Ludwig that time, of course. Very similar to a go-kart, so do well in that. But it is a win for Ludwig Rossimo. So it is going to be a tiebreaker in the Opel Corsa Super 1600. And that will be coming your way in just over 1 minute's time. Straight away, the first 8 finals straight to a tiebreaker. So we could be here for a while if everyone's going to go to a tiebreaker. And remember, the finals are a best of 5, so we've got plenty of action still yet to come your way on this Saturday afternoon. Of course, I know plenty of you are probably competing or trying to at least compete in the iRacing Daytona 24 hours, but I know there's an extra hour because the servers have failed. So you've got some time at least to tune into this event. So the final race coming up in just a moment's time. There's going to be, of course, the Opel Corsa Super 1600 is going to be the car of choice for the tiebreaker. So now we've gone from four-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, now to front-wheel drive. So a very different car each time. And the rally guys will have a totally different choice cars coming into this one. They've got some really interesting choices. They've got Rallycross Group B cars, cross karts and RX2s for the rally guys. Well, not too long now until we head to the last race of race number 1. And then just having a look at this here, we're going to have got 2 more 8th finals to come, of course, in the Rallycross, and then the 8th finals of the rally. So RX Super 1600's next race on the cards. Here we go then. It is the Volkswagen, the Opel Corsa Super 1600 that is going to be used for this one. Got a feeling there. I'm not sure if I caught that correctly, but I think somebody may have chosen the wrong car. We'll see we'll see when we load in. That could have just might have been my eyes playing tricks on me. So of course there's no wet conditions at all in this championship or today. It's going to be fully dry, much to the driver's delight. But here we go then. Super 1600s at hell. Here we go. Yeah, it was my eyes playing tricks on me. Right, tiebreaker for the first 8th final of the day in the Rallycross. Ludwig Rossibo versus Stain. And we are going to be keeping our eyes on Ludwig Rossibo in the black car on the outside, Stain on the inside in that Corsa.
Try not to hit it at an angle, as this makes for a quick journey into that barrier on the outside.
Here we go. Ludwig Rossibo. Now, who's going to take the win? Whoever wins this one goes straight through the quarterfinals. The other one gets immediately knocked out and their day is done. Ready to race light on for the first tiebreaker. It is green, and we are away. It's an even start, but Stain getting away a little bit better on the inside of the line. Won't matter too much. Ludwig Rossibo going to go straight into the Joker lap, and now he's got to keep that neat and tidy. Don't bonk the car. Now gets it turned in nicely down the hill. He comes the dust, blinding him as he comes down the hill into the left-hander. It's all about trying to minimise wheel spin and getting that rear end out. You do not want to get the rear end out in this car because it will cost you so much time. Just got to turn the car, plant your foot and go. 4.5 seconds to Stain at the moment as they come up and over the hill. Stain is going to cross the line in just a moment's time. We're going to transfer to him now as he begins now. This is what it comes down to. Face last lap in the tiebreaker, so he's going to get straight through to the quarterfinals in the Race of Champions. Into the Joker goes Stain, gets turned, flings it in comparison to Ludwig. Now down the hill they come. Where is Ludwig? He's nowhere to be seen, and it's a big gap for Stain as they come through. He's flinging that car around. It could be a case of a mistake from Stain, could maybe drag Ludwig Rossibo into this one, but it seems Stain has got the measure of him. 0.8 of a second he's got now as they come down the hill into the right-hander, and Ludwig trying very, very hard, but there's nothing really he can do as they come up and over the hill. It's going to be the Belgian who comes down the hill for the last time into the last corner. Stain is going to win the 8th final. He goes through to the quarterfinals on the tiebreaker, and Ludwig Rossibo is knocked out in the first round. That is a surprise for Ludwig, but his day is done. We're not going to be seeing any more of him, but Stain is through to the quarterfinals in Rallycross. So there you go. That is the first 8th final done. That is how quickly it goes. And yeah, Just saying a quick hello to everyone in the chat, to a couple of the guys who are taking part, of course. If you're on the live chat, just let us know. I'll keep an eye on as we carry through. We're heading into now the second 8th final in the Rallycross section. So next up, who have we got? And I have a quick check. I believe it is going to be Johan Lundqvist. Yeah, Johan Lundqvist and versus Stranger. So this is the next one up. So Stain is already through, and he'll be facing already Tomahawks, who's already through to the quarterfinals on account of him winning the Rallycross Championship. Now this next one, Johan Lundqvist versus Stranger. Then it's going to be Serene Logic versus LSM in the last 8th final. So again, Johan Lundqvist, of course, as well, a new signing to CRG. Let's see if he can get off to a good start first event. So it is going to be, just to give you all a heads up, it is going to be, as far as I can see, Johan Lundqvist in the white car and Stranger in the black. So now, here we go. We're going to be keeping our eyes on Stranger, of course. He's going to be starting on the outside. Here we go then, straight out of the bat. It is going to be 8th final, number 2. Johan Lundqvist versus Stranger, the Indonesian. So let's see what he can do. For a spot in the quarterfinals. Quarterfinal 1 is already decided. It's Tomahawks versus Stain. You can see it right there. And now it's Johan Lundqvist versus Stranger for the spot in the quarterfinals. Quarterfinal number 2. Right. No messing around, straight in for this first race. It is, of course, the RX Supercars, the Seat Ibiza.
You only need to take it once. If you miss it, you'll
Johan Lundqvist in the white, Stranger in the black. And we're going to be looking at Stranger as he begins on the outside line. Remember, he's got to take to the Joker first. Johan Lundqvist to the standard lap. Right, let's get ready to rumble. Lundqvist on the inside, Stranger on the outside. Ready to race light on. Green light, we're away. Great start from Stranger in comparison to Johan as they come down towards turn 1. There'll be Stranger into the Joker immediately to try and displace, but he's made a mistake in the Joker running wide, and that's going to cost him a huge chunk of time in that one. 3.6 seconds already the delta to Johan Lundqvist. And that should be an easy delta for him to overcome now, immediately making that error. And that is not what you can afford to do in this event. So now, coming over the hill, it's going to be Johan Lundqvist across the line in just a few moments. Time we're going to flip to him and see how he negotiates the Joker. If he doesn't make any mistakes, it should be an easy one for him as he comes up and over and into the Joker lane. He's going to fling this one in. Not quite flinging in, but very nice and neat and tidy from the Swede, up and over the Joker lap merge, and he's going to come out a country mile in front of Stranger. There you go. Simple error from Stranger, and that's how much time it cost him. That mistake costing him that 1.3 seconds down the hill. Then Johan Lundqvist in front, but Stranger keeping him under pressure because it can't afford to make a mistake in this last sector. Stranger will obviously keep him under pressure, but down the hill into the last corner, Johan Lundqvist, very nicely driven, comes up putting over the last corner. He takes the win in the second eighth final, and the first race of this eighth final. So now they've got to quickly adjust their minds to the cross cart. Now we are flying through, but if, of course, remember, if Johan wins this next one, he goes straight through to the quarterfinals. If not, if Stranger takes it, then it's going to be a tiebreaker once again. Can we have a tiebreaker 2 times in a row? So now it's got to load ourselves back into a lobby again, switch the cars and get that going again. So once again, we apologize for the delay on the stream today. It's not an easy event to get going with the amount of stuff you need to do, driver's briefing, all that kind of thing. But cross cart, straight into it. Johan Lundqvist will be on pole this time. Or actually, he'll be on the outside this time, won't he? This time. So yeah, we're going to be keeping an eye on Johan Lundqvist this time on the outside. So let's get ready to go for the cross carts then. So now we're getting faster at getting these lobbies out. Now we're already loading into race number 2. I'm always the last one to load in because I have a slow hard drive. So apologies to all the drivers who are loading in so fast compared to me. This should be a good one. Here we go then. Cross carts. So from 4-wheel drive to rear-wheel drive.
Use the Joker lap to your advantage. You only need to take
now
it
it's going to
once.
be
If you
Johan
miss
to
it,
take to the
you'll get a
Joker
time
first. On the outside, in the white. So that's the map we're going to keep our eye on lap number 1. And then see how Stranger gets on his Joker lap as well. But Johan Lundqvist on the outside, Stranger on the inside. Who's going to come out on top in this second race? Is it going to go to a tiebreaker? Will it be 2-0 for Johan Lundqvist? A hard man to beat, indeed. Oh, it's a jump start for Stranger. So it's already over. It's already done. Johan Lundqvist is going to get this one. Stranger jumped the starts, and it's immediately gone wrong. And that is a mistake that he cannot afford. He's taking the Joker as well, so he's already given himself 2 penalties, essentially. But it won't really matter because Johan Lundqvist is going to take this one. As far as I can see, no, actually, what the hell just happened there? I think we're having some connection problems with Stranger because he's just... Oh, what on earth is this? He's just appeared in front of Johan Lundqvist, so it's not all over. Never mind. Whatever just happened there, he just pinged in front of everybody. Johan Lundqvist P2, Stranger in P1. So now it's still going to come down to a Joker merge. Apologies for that, but here we go. Now into the Joker goes Stranger. I think Johan's going to come out easily in front anyway. So through they go. And yeah, it is going to be Johan straight out in the lead. So none of that mattered anyway. That was a really interesting thing that we saw there. But not to worry. It is Johan Lundqvist who's going to take this one 2-0. So here he goes through the last sector then. In the cross cart. Takes it nice and easy. So 2-0. Johan Lundqvist straight through to the quarterfinals in the Race of Champions. And Stranger, we're not going to be seeing any more from him in this race today. But Johan Lundqvist straight through. So as far as I can see, it wasn't a jump start. It was just a really bad connection for Stranger. So now it is time for the final 8th final, if that makes sense, in the RX section. So next up is going to be Serene Logic and LSM, who will be going up against each other. And then we'll move to the rally drivers. So about 4 more 8th finals to come. So next 8th final coming up in about a minute, 2 minutes time. There you can see Johan Lundqvist on your screens in the quarterfinals. 2-0 versus Stranger. Nearly have our RX quarterfinals sorted out. There's going to be Serene Logic versus LSM in this one. LSM in the black and Serene Logic in the white. First up, of course, as always, RX Supercars 2019 Seat Ibiza. And then the cross kart, at least. Here we go, straight away, loading in. It is now Serene Logic versus LSM for that second spot in the quarterfinals, the last spot in the quarterfinals, versus Johan Lundqvist. Right, I have a feeling that this could be a lobby reload. I don't think LSM actually managed to choose a vehicle. We may have to run this one again. A timer ticked down, and I think there could be in a Peugeot rather than a Seat. Let's wait and see anyways, as we load into this. And yep, I think we're going to need a restart of this one. That is not the correct car that I'm seeing on the grid there. Seat Ibiza is the car, not the Peugeot 208. And we're going to get a lobby restart of that one, of course. If you do not choose the correct car, you will not be allowed to race in that race until you choose the correct one. Just having a look in the chat. Hello to everyone who's in there. To Rene, to Quentin Dalolmo, good to see you, mate. Hope you're enjoying the race. So, new lobby, new chance to choose the correct car. Here we go then. So it'll be the LSM on the outside, as far as I know. Yeah, it will be. So we can spectate the correct car. So let's get ready to go. Let's make sure we choose the correct car this time, boys. And there we go. It is the correct car this time. So now we have 2 drivers in the correct cars. It is time to go again for the last 8th final in the Rallycross. All right, let's. So there'll be LSM on the outside in the black, Serene Logic in the white. So it'll be Serene Logic on the standard, and it'll be LSM on the Joker. So here we go. Favorite coming into this one would be Serene Logic, so let's see what he can do. LSM on the outside, ready to race light on. Away we go from the line. Good start for Serene Logic on the inside line as they come towards turn 1. LSM going to have to go for the Joker lap, of course, as always, as they head through very, very close to the pivot to turn 1 now. LSM in the Joker, flicks it on the handbrake, gets it down the hill. Very, very nicely indeed. Flicks it into the left. 3.3 seconds the delta to Serene Logic as they come down the hill. What's the delta going to be in the second split? 3.6. This should be going the way of Serene Logic at the moment, unless LSM pulls some time back in the last sector here. Now 3.8 it goes up by, so nipping 0.2 per sector. Serene Logic are going to flick to him as he begins his second lap. He's going to go for the Joker now. Let's watch this as he heads into the Joker. Flick that in on the handbrake, chucks it through, gets it straight on the exit. Now this should be Serene Logic out in front, and it is indeed by 1.5 seconds at the split. Down the hill they come for the second time, and it is a very resounding lead at the moment. Look at that, flicks it in there, Serene Logic, absolutely brilliant. Facing backwards, LSM goes out wide, nearly hits the barrier. Flicks it downhill then, and really throwing that sail of ether around. Chucks it in on the handbrake again. Up and over the hill, it's going to be Serene Logic wins the first race in the 8th final. So, pretty resounding win there, and pretty close times between Johan Lundqvist and himself. 1:15s apiece in that one. So, let's see how the cross carts are going to go. Anyways, so we're waiting for our lobby countdown. And we will head back into the lobby, flick over to the cross carts, and get right back underway. So now we head to the cross carts for the second round. So, ignore the graphics that you saw. That you saw there. I'm almost certain we've got another round in the Rallycross to come, and we do indeed. We're loading straight into it now. You just got a glimpse of the rally splits right there. That'll be coming up after these few races here. So, not long to go at all. Yeah, I think there was a bit of preemptiveness from the graphics man already putting Nigel 2-0, but That could be a curse. Let's see if he manages to actually do it. We load into the cross-kart session. Right.
Use the Joker lap to your
Here we
advantage.
go.
You only need to take it once. If you miss it, you'll get a time penalty.
If Serene Logic wins this one, he goes straight through to the quarterfinal. If not, then we go to a tiebreak. LSM on the outside line. Serene Logic on the inside. Here we go. Green light, and we are away. Good start once again from Serene Logic on the inside line. Gets nearly a cart length in front of it. LSM going to have to dive to the Joker lap once again. Got to get it nice and steady in here. Can't afford to spin it. Keeps it nicely on the power. Gets it out of shape though, and that could cost him big time as they come down the hill. 4.5 seconds the delta to Serene Logic immediately with that small little over rotation as they come down the hill. But got to be careful. You can easily make a mistake. It looks like Serene Logic actually did in that bottom hairpin because you can see the time definitely dropped. Let's see. As they come through, it's going to be 2.2, so he lost 2 seconds. That's exactly what I did, actually, in the Race of Champions a few years ago. He's done exactly what I have and spun in the bottom hairpin. Now, up and over the hill, Serene Logic going to have to take it to the Joker lap now. 2.8 seconds the delta. It's going to be very, very close on the merge. Here we go. Serene Logic chucks it in. Where is LSM going to be? It's going to be very, very close. LSM has got out in front. The Dane has got out in front with the 2 mistakes. And this is almost reminiscent of myself and Wesley Wickens a few years ago, battling it out in the cross carts. Here we go. Serene Logic to the outside line, trying to get the cut back on the Dane. And lovely overtake from the Dutchman. And he gets in front of the Dane in the bottom hairpin. Now LSM trying desperately to try and get past here as they come down the hill. Great racing between both of them. And it's going to be LSM trying to look a little up the inside. It's very close, but Serene Logic holds on and takes the win. What a race. LSM spins it actually as they come through the last quarter, but Serene Logic wins it 2-0 and he goes straight through to the quarterfinals. Wowee. So we have our quarterfinals. It'll be Serene Logic versus Johan Lundqvist, and that's going to be certainly one to watch when we head there. But now, that is the Rallycross 8th finals done. Next, we head to the rally drivers with a totally different car lineup. Something new. The rally drivers dealing with Rallycross for the first time. But there's your quarterfinals. Tomahawks versus Stain and Johan Lundqvist versus Nigel Croisset, or otherwise known as Serene Logic. So now we begin the rally section. So at the end, of course, at the end of this championship, or at the end of both of the semi-finals, it'll be the best rallycross driver versus the best rally driver. See who's really the champion. So it's gonna be interesting to watch. But now the splits for the rally, you can see it. It is Carl Reynolds versus Brothers Chris, and they will be competing to see to go up against Jonathan Schaefer. At least it should be, unless we're going in reverse order. So looks like it's going to be Drez Adjo versus Fusion John as the first one, actually. Excuse me. And now we begin. So it is Adjo versus Drez Adjo versus Fusion John as the first rally lineup, and they're going to be in the Group B Rallycross car, specifically the Metro 6R4 Rallycross, and this is a weapon of a car. So this is going to be really interesting. So these guys have got to deal with the Group B, then the cross kart, and if it's a tie break, it is the RX2. Okay. Fusion John versus Drez Adjo Metro 6R4 Rallycross.
If you miss it,
this is going to be good.
Penalty.
So here we go. Drez Adjo on the outside, Fusion John on the inside. We're going to be following Adjo in the white. On the outside line for the Joker. Look at these 6R4s, they are gorgeous. Here we go. Green light, and we are away. It is a good start from Fusion John, but Drez Adjo bogging down off the line or something, but I'm not sure what's happening here. Have we called for a restart? Seems we've been called for a restart. Okay. An incorrect grid. So, restart. Bear with us, folks. We're back underway in just a moment's time. So, should be Fusion John on the outside rather than Adjo. So, let's get ready to go then. Second attempt. Alrighty. Loading in once again.
Use the Joker lap to your advantage. You only need to take it once. If you miss it, you'll get a time penalty.
All right. It is going to be Fusion John on the outside, Adjo on the inside. So let's watch Fusion John on the outside in the black. Ready to race light on. Green light, and we are away for this one. Great start from Dress Adjo on the inside. Fusion John going to go to the Joker lap immediately, of course, on the outside line. Chucks it in. Gets it nice, tries not to bog down, and away we go down the hill. These amazing Metro 604s is going to go very wide. It's going to cost him time. 3.3 seconds the delta to Adjo as they come down the hill. And look, oh, it's going to get out of shape, and round goes Fusion John into the gravel trap, and that's going to be an easy one for Tres Adjo if he doesn't make any mistakes. Through down the hill, just getting it a little bit out of shape down the hill. Tres Adjo, it should all be going to be an easy one for Adjo. Here we go, into the Joker for Adjo. Gets it turned in, and it is going to be miles in front, an easy one for Adjo, unless he makes the same error that Fusion John did. Now, into the downhill. Been over the hill for the last time. Adjo should be able to take this one into the last corner. And Adjo takes this, the first 8 final race of this one. There it is. Adjo with the first one. Now we move to the cross kart. So, cross kart next up, as we say. So we're just going to load ourselves in once again and get the cross kart away. Right, cross kart is next up. Loading in to the session now. Change of grid, of course. It should be Adjo on the outside. Okay.
Use the Joker lap to your advantage.
So,
you only need to take
it's either
it
be
once.
2-0 for
If you
Adjo
miss it,
or a
you'll get a
tiebreaker
time
at the end of
penalty.
this one. Let's find out. So Adjo on the outside, we're going to follow him into the Joker. Will we see an appearance of the RX2, or is this going to be it? Here we go for the second race of this matchup. Adjo on the outside, ready to race light on. Green line, we are away. Again, a good start from Agile. Moving to the outside, giving Fusion John plenty of room for turn number 1 as they head into the first corner. Agile going to take this Joker. Has to keep it neat and tidy, and does keep it very neat and tidy through that Joker. That's the way to take it in these cars. 2.9 the delta to Fusion John. Now, turning it in down the hill for the first time. 3 seconds now. Fusion John opening the gap slightly to Agile. This could be a very, very tight merge if they keep it nice and clean in this last sector or two. 2.7, Agile bringing it down now. This could be close as they head through the last corner. So now we go to Fusion John as he comes across the start-finish line. Going to take to the Joker. 2.5 seconds the delta. This could be very, very close, but it could go the way of Agile. Nicely turned into Fusion John that time, keeps it steady, but Agile is out in front by nearly 1 second, over a second, 1.4 in the delta. So unless barring any mistakes from Agile, he is going to go 2-0 and go straight to the quarterfinals in the rally, and he will face Jonathan Schaefer. Or no, he won't face Jonathan Schaefer, sorry, he'll be into the quarterfinals at least. Fusion John is right up against that barrier there as they come down the hill, so no mistakes from Agile. He comes through the last corner and he will win 2-0 and take a spot in the quarterfinals in the Race of Champions. Fusion John is knocked out. So now we move to the next matchup in just a few moments' time. So it will be Agile through to the quarterfinals with a 2-0 win. We've only had one tiebreaker so far, so it's been certainly an interesting one. Next up, find out in just a few moments' time who it's going to be. So we're going to have DiRT and Mongo John, I think, in the next one. This is going to be their next lineup. The DJ Pax and Mongo John. Bear with us, folks. We'll be back in just a few moments' time. Just waiting for the guys to hop in the lobby. Seems we're just waiting for one person now. Just waiting for DJ Pax to hop in the lobby before we can get underway. There we go. There you can see the results so far. Dres Adjo in the second quarterfinal, so whoever wins this next one will go through to face Dres Adjo in the quarters. Mongo John will be the man starting on the outside line. Going to be in those RX Group B cars. So here we go. The second 8th final of the rally. Oh. Well, this is going to be a restart, isn't it? We're going to head straight into a different lobby, actually. Alrighty. So this should be it. Should be loading in just a second's time. There we go. You're now loading in for the second matchup in the 8th finals. DJ Pax versus Mongo John. Okay. So we're just waiting in the service area now for guys to get ready. the US versus Norway in this one.
Use the Joker lap to your advantage. You only need to take it once.
Finally get
If you
underway
miss it,
for
you'll
the
get a time
second
penalty.
matchup of guys here. It is Mongo John versus DJ Pax. Mongo John will be on the outside. He should be in the black car, but we will be able to distinguish it nonetheless. That's fine. And DJ Pax on the inside. Actually, no, it's DJ Pax on the outside. Excuse me, I'm getting all mixed up. Go away from the outside line. It is Mongo John on the outside as they come down towards turn number 1. Mongo John flicks it into the Joker lap. Paxton will go to the standard lap. Down the hill they come. Delta's pretty close, 2.9 seconds between the two of them. Let's see what it's going to be like as they come down into this next one. Looks like Mongo John is bringing in that gap, 2.1 seconds, the delta to Paxton. Through the final sector, 1.5 seconds, so bringing it down very, very fast here. Mongo John, it should be very easy for him to get the jump at the Joker merge. He's nearly actually caught him already as they come up over the hill, as we're going to stick with Paxton, of course, as they head into the Joker, but this is going to be an easy one for Mongo John. Paxton flicks it in, tries to stop him bogging down, gets into the bank a little bit, but look at the delta. It is massive, 2.8 seconds from John back to Paxton. So an easy one, barring any mistakes, for John. Delta comes down slightly that time for Paxton. Have to assume a mistake from the American that time. Look at the Delta bringing it down on this lap. Gets it out of shape right there, and that's going to cost him any sort of chance. Yeah, but Mongo John wins this one, and Paxton is going to take P2 in the first race in the Metro 6R4s. So next up is the cross karts, of course. Cross karts next up. All right, so let's get the cross karts underway. The grid will be reversed, so it'll be Paxton on the outside in the cross karts. He needs to win this one to bring it to a tiebreaker. Here we are. Now loading into the second race of this matchup, cross karts. All right. Let's get this underway.
Use the Joker lap to your advantage. You only
Tiebreaker
need to
or a
take it
2-0
once.
win.
If you miss it, you'll get a time penalty.
Have got correct liveries this time.
Important
Paxton
not
on
to
the
run
outside.
wide in the penultimate corner because you'll leave yourself open to attacks from behind.
And Mongo John on the inside in black. Here we go. Ready to race, light on. Away we go from the line. So Paxton going to take to the Joker on this time by, but it's a great start from Mongo John. Paxton straight into the Joker, taking it very tentatively on the inside. Gets it on the power. It seems to be taking it very, very steady, and the crosscars doesn't want to spin them. 4.3 seconds the delta. Let's come down the hill now. Let's have a look at the delta next time by as they come into break zone 4.4, losing a tenth to Mongo John that time. Now, what's the delta going to be over the top of the hill? As they come through, it's going to be 4.5. It's staying steady, equal pace between the both of them, but Mongo John going to take to the Joker this time by open over the jump. He comes. And he's going to throw it into the Joker. Now, what is it? Is this going to be as close as we think it is? You can hear Paxton screaming into turn one. Here comes Mongo John down the hill, but it is going to be John going to take the lead. Now runs a tad wide, but keeps it steady. Down the hill into the braking zone for the right-hander. Paxton keeping him honest though. Look at him right there. He's keeping him under pressure, but it's going to be a little bit too much oversteer for Paxton that time. Desperately trying to keep it in a straight line. But it's going to be, as far as we can see, Mongo John 2-0 win in the 8th finals for Rally. Comes through the last quarter, wins the cross-kart one and goes straight through to the quarterfinals. And no tiebreaker for this one. So Mongo John straight through to the quarterfinals. Now, coming up, the last 8th final of the day is going to be Carl Renoja and brothers Chris. Now, whoever takes that one will face Jonathan Schaefer in the quarterfinals. Okay, we move to the last 8th final of the day. Before we move to the quarterfinals, it's going to be Carl Renoja and brothers Chris in the final 8th final of the day to progress through to the quarterfinals to face Jonathan Schaefer. There's your first quarterfinal. It's Mongo John versus Dres Aggio. And in this one, it's going to be Carl Renoja in the white, brothers Chris in the black. So he's going to be the man on the outside line. And 2-0 wins so far for everybody, apart from the very first race of the evening, where that went to a tie break. Will this one go to a tie break? Whoever wins is going to be facing a very fierce opponent, Jonathan Schaefer, the Division 1 WERC Rally Champion. But here we go. It's the Estonian versus the Brit. First off, in the Metro 6R4s. And Carl, of course, a new signing for CRG as well. The whole new lineup of that team. Jonathan Schaefer, Carl Vernoja, Johan Lundqvist, and Ludwig Rossibo. With Damien, of course, as the team manager. It'll be Chris on the outside. And Carl on the inside for this race. Yep, so Carl in the black, sorry,
Use the joker
Chris
to your
in the
advantage.
black,
You only need to take it once. If you
and
miss it,
Carl
you'll
in
get
the
a time
white.
penalty.
That is the lineup for this one. So we're going to keep our eyes on Chris, who's going to go to the joker first, Carl to the standard. This is going to be a good race between these two. So let's see. The Estonian going to take to the standard lap. Here we go. Ready to race, light on. Green light, and we are away. It's a good start from Carl Vernoja on the inside. He gets half a car length in front of the head towards turn one. Chris going to take to that joker lap. Flings it in, trying to keep it steady. Trying not to bonk the car down. He gets a bag of understeer on the exit. Clatters the bank. And that's going to cost him a lot of time as they come down the hill. 4.3 seconds already to delta to Carl Vernoja. So Chris is going to have some big work to do. He needs a mistake from the Estonian. On this one, 4.5 seconds it goes up to. Trying to keep it nice and steady. Gets it nicely on the power through the right-hander. But it's this delta in the third sector. 4.8 it goes up to. This should be going Carl Vernoja's way so far. He comes through the last corner, up and over the hill, over the jump. And now the Estonian got to get the joker lap right. Gets it on the brakes. Little tap of handbrake. Rotates it lovely over the joker. And down the hill he comes. And he's got miles in front. Carl Vernoja, 2.1 for the Estonian. And this is going to be, barring any mistakes, a win. Beautifully controlled so far from the Estonian. 2.6 seconds he opens the gap out to. You can see the difference in the lines. Keeping it very steady. Nice and steady through the last corner for Carl Vernoja. He wins the first race and goes 1-0 to Chris. So good job from the Estonian. Now it's going to be the cross cart that decides this. So a very, very large benchmark thrown down by Carl Vernoja. It's now going to be that cross cart that decides the final spot in the quarterfinals. It'll be Vernoja on the outside this time. Cross cart to decide the very last spot in the quarterfinals. Who is it going to be? Very fast laps put in by by Renoya. So, Renoya and Chris in the cross carts for the very last 8th final.
Use the Joker lap to your advantage. You only need to take it once. If you miss it, you'll get a time penalty.
Here we go. Remember, it's Renoya on the outside. Chris on the inside. Here we go. Final, 8th final of the night. Ready to race. Green, and we are away. It is a good one from Renoya on the outside line. He's going to take to that Joker lap immediately. Let's see if he can keep it nice and neat and tidy through there. And he does do so, beautifully handled. And look how close he is to the back of brothers Chris already. The gap is 1.7 seconds. And this is just going to be, at the moment, easy pickings for the Estonian as they come down the hill. 1 second and a big wide moment for Chris already. He's nearly going to have the Estonian pass him before he's done the Joker as they come over the hill. Barring any mistakes from Renoya, this is going to be an easy win. And is he going to be able to pass him? He doesn't need to, but he'd certainly want to get one over on brothers Chris as they come through the last corner. He's alongside him already, up and over the hill. Chris going to take to the Joker lap, but Renoya has absolutely smashed it out of the park. There he goes, and a spin for Chris in the Joker lap as well seals the deal. And Carl Renoya is going to win the 8th final and progress through to the quarterfinals as they come up and over the hill for the last time. Here comes Renoya through the left-hander, nice and tight to the barrier. Keeps it tidy on the inside. Carl Renoya 2-0 versus brothers Chris, and he goes through at an absolutely stacked quarterfinal versus Jonathan Schaefer. Great stuff. That concludes the 8th finals for tonight. Next up, the Rallycross quarterfinals are about to come your way. First one being, of course, Tomahawks versus Stain. So, it is quarterfinals time in the Race of Champions. The Tomahawks, the WERC Rallycross champion versus Stain for No Control. There are your quarterfinalists for the Rallycross. Tomahawks versus Steen in the first one. Johan Lundqvist versus Serene Logic in the second one. So some very, very stacked quarterfinals about to come up. So it will be Stain on the outside, Tomahawks on the inside. Stain in the black and Tomahawks in the white. First quarterfinal of the night. Best of 3. 2019 Rallycross Supercars, the Seat Ibiza, of course, in use. Now, these quarterfinals are going to be a hell of a lot closer than what we just saw in some of those 8th finals. Expect tiebreakers in these ones. These guys are very evenly matched. Sweden versus Belgium.
Use the Joker lap to your advantage. You only need to take it once. If you miss it, you'll get a time penalty.
Alright, here we go for the quarter-final of the Rallycross. Tomahawks on the right, on the inside, Stain on the outside. This is going to be brilliant. Here we go. Ready to race, light on. Green light, we're away, even start from both the Tomahawks, gets very half a car length in front. Stain is going to go to the Joker immediately in that black car as he heads in, flicks it through, gets it faced in the correct direction, and away we go. And now the battle begins between the two of them. Tomahawks the champion, Stain the contender. He runs wide in the left-hander but gets it back together. 2.8 seconds the delta at the first split. What is it going to be in that second split? 3 seconds it goes out to. That small mistake from Stain is going to cost him maybe as they head up the hill for the first time of asking. Second split for Tomahawks. What's it going to be? 3.1. It goes up by another 10 as Stain gets it wrong down the hill. He's going to lose a chunk of time. He's really pushing hard, but Tomahawks is keeping it nice and very clean. Into the Joker lock goes Tomahawks. Flicks it through in the Joker, gets it pointed downhill, and it looks like it's going to be Tomahawks with those errors from Stain. It's going to come out in front, and he does do so in these supercars. So down into the right-hander, Tomahawks, very neat, flicks it in, keeps it nice and tight to that curve. He's going to come up and over the hill in that Seat, flicks it into the left, and down into the last corner. First blood to the reigning Rallycross champion. Tomahawks takes the win in the first race. Stain is second. Now, next up, as per usual, is the cross karts. So Tomahawks with the first blood in this one. Stain pushing so hard, making those errors. Tomahawks keeping it just nicely between the lines the whole way through. and getting the job done in the first one. Now we move to the cross carts. And a switch of the grid. This time it'll be Tomahawks on the outside. Stain on the inside. All comes out of this for a spot in the semi-finals. Will it be 2-0 for Tomahawks, or will it go to a tiebreaker? Okay, it is crunch time.
Use the Joker lap to your
Here we go,
advantage.
the cross
You only need to
carts.
take it once. If you miss it, you'll get a time.
For a spot in the semis, is it going to be that tiebreaker or that 2-0 win for Tomahawks? He's got the Joker to do first this time in the white on the outside. They could come to the line, nerves building. For the reigning champion in the Rallycross division. Ready to race. Green light, we're away. Good start from Tomahawks, good start from Stain on the inside. They're absolutely dead even as they come down towards turn number 1. Tomahawks going to dive to the Joker lap. It's got to be a clean lap from Stain now. He wants to beat the Swede here. Nice Joker lap. A little bit understeery from Tomahawks as he came on the exit there now. That can cost him 4.2 seconds. The delta to Stain as they come down into the braking zone from the downhill. 4.2 at the first split. Into the second split. What's it going to be between the two of them? It's 4.2 again. It's absolutely dead even. Now, third split. It's 4.2 at the moment. Is Tomahawk going to bring any of that gap down, or is it going to go up? It's going to go to still to 4.2. They're absolutely dead even as they come over the line now. Stain, this is for to bring it to a tiebreaker. Into the Joker, he will go in the number 89 car, flings it in, gets it stopped onto the brakes, rotates the cart in. Now, who's it going to be as they come through? It's going to be very tight between them, but it is Stain who gets out in front in the cross carts. This time by that mistake in the Joker, costing Tomahawks that 0.7 of a second. And Stain, the Belgian, he's going to try and bring it to the tiebreaker. He needs to avoid the mistakes versus the Swede behind him. But has he done the job as they come over the top of the hill for the second time in the cross carts? Keeping it very steady there is Stain. Oh, mistake from Tomahawks into the wall. He goes, and that secures it. Stain is going to bring it to a tiebreaker in the quarterfinals. Tomahawks pushing too hard. And Tomahawks P2, it is 1-0 in this one. Tiebreaker about to come your way. So it was the four-wheel drive was the specialty for Tomahawks. It was the rear-wheel drive for Stain. Now it's the front-wheel drive Opel Corsa to bring it to a tiebreaker to secure that spot in the semis. This is only our second tiebreaker of the evening. It'll be Stain on the outside in the Opel Corsa. Take the Joker first this time. But it's all come down to this one. All right, it is tiebreaker time. Stain versus Tomahawks for a spot in the semi. Okay. Timer may have ticked out on Tomahawks there. I'm not sure if he's actually managed to get himself into an Opel Corsa. Yeah, looks like it's going to be a wrong car for Tomahawks. I knew my eyes were not deceiving me. Or it seems to be a bug. Okay, never mind. Seems that he's in the correct car. Is he? Are we sure? That definitely looks like a Polo to me. That Tomahawks is in. That's going to be a restart. A public service announcement to all the drivers. Please choose the correct car. It's in the rules. So now we get an opportunity to try again. Okay, I think we've got it correctly this time. Okie dokie, correct cars this time. And it is now the battle for a spot in the semi-final. Stain on the outside. Let's see what he can do versus Tomahawks. All comes down to this. Here we go. Opel Corsa Super 1600 front wheel drive. Ready to race. Green line wear away again, a dead even start between the Tomahawks, getting a little bit better as they head towards turn number 1. It'll be Stain to take to the Joker first in that black Opel Corsa. Gotta get stopped on the brakes, flips it a little bit, that is a corner, but that will be instantly a penalty, surely by the game even, as they come through there. And it's surely going to be now going to go the way of Tomahawks as they come through the bottom of the hill. We'll keep our eyes on it anyway. The game may not have given him a penalty, but it will certainly be given by the stewards. It seems to be turn 1 Joker penalty. Stain coming our way, so this is going to be a Tomahawks win no matter what as they come through. So it will be a penalty for Stain for that cut, but we'll keep our eye on Tomahawks anyway, as he heads to the Joker. Stopped on the brakes for the Swede, chucks it in, beautiful, as he heads through the Joker, absolutely spot on, and he is going to get out just about in front of the Belgian. That was inches between them as they come down the hill, but he's got it done anyway. Great job from the Swede. That was absolutely inches between them. Steen gives him a nudge as they come through the right-hander. He's battling it out hard here between the two of them. And over the hill for the last time. Doesn't matter any. There will be a penalty for Stain anyway. Through the last corner, Tomahawks is going to take the win. Now, it could be penalties coming our way, but Tomahawks will take that win provisionally and secure a spot in the semis. Very, very close. So Tomahawks, the Rallycross champion, is into the semis with a 2-1 victory over Stain. And now we've got one coming up that should certainly feel that it's going to be a tiebreaker. It's going to be Johan Lundqvist versus Serene Logic. So the second quarterfinal coming our way in just a moment, folks. Stick with us. You do not want to miss this action. There's your confirmation on your screens. Tomahawks 2-1 versus Stain. So Stain, we will not be seeing any more of him today. Tomahawks is into the semi. So Johan Lundqvist versus Nigel Krause. So it'll be Nigel in the black, Johan in the white. So black will start on the outside line for race number 1. RX Supercars. So here we go. The second quarterfinal of the Rallycross. Johan Lundqvist versus Serene Logic. It's going to be a very closely fought battle, this one.
Use the Joker lap to your
Here we go.
advantage. You only need to take it once. If you miss it,
The
you'll
second
get a time penalty.
quarter-final. It is Nigel on the outside, Johan on the inside. Let's see how this goes. Two drivers who competed in the WERC Esports. Now, 1v1 on track. Ready to race. Green line, we're away. It's a very even start between both of them. It's going to be Serene Logic to the Joker first in that black Sail Ibiza. Flicks it in, taps the barrier. That's very, very wide. That's going to cost him time. He got that a little bit wrong on the entry. 3.3 to Johan. Now, big send from Serene Logic. Going to have to push very hard to beat Johan Lundqvist in this one after that tiny error. 3.4 it goes up to now. Now, as they come up over the hill, 3.4. Next split, what's it going to be? Is it going to be Johan's advantage? It's going to be 3.5 this time, so it's going the way of Johan at the moment. Over the line comes Johan Lundqvist. Now he's going to have to take that Joker lap in that white Sail Ibiza, flicks the car in, beautifully held, faces it the right direction. Where is Serene Logic? We're going to looking for him on that outside line. It's half a second between them, very, very close. Johan defends the inside. There's a contact between them as they come down the hill, but it is the way of Johan Lundqvist. Serene Logic with a big send up the inside. It's very close between them, but Johan hangs on. Very, very clean between both of them that time. And Johan Lundqvist hanging on here between the both of them. Serene Logic pushing hard in the background, but it's going to be Johan Lundqvist by a hair's width across the line. He takes the first one. And Serene Logic in P2. What a race between the both of them. Incredible driving. Great stuff. That tiny error from Nigel in that Joker was what cost him that lead. It would have been absolutely side by side between them. So it's 1-0 to Johan Lundqvist. Now we switch to cross karts. So now we switch it up. It is going to be Johan on the outside this time in the cross kart. He's going to take the Joker first. Let's get going. For the quarters. Is it going to be a tiebreaker or will it be 2-0? Between these two, all it's going to take is one error. And that'll be the race decided. Now Nigel has got to win this one to bring it to a tiebreaker. He wants to still have a chance to get into the semis. Let's see what happens.
Use the Joker lap to your advantage. You
Here
only
we go.
need to take it once. If you miss it, you'll get a time penalty.
Definite crunch time. It's a must-win for Serene Logic. Johan Lundqvist on the outside. He's going to take to that Joker first.
Important not to run wide in the penultimate corner because you'll leave yourself open to attacks from behind.
Let's get it done. Ready to race, light on. Green and we're away. It's a good start from both of them once again. Very even as they head towards turn 1. Johan Lundqvist will be the first man to dive to the outside. And he's got to get it right. Onto the brakes, gets it turned in nicely onto the power. Remember, rear wheel drive these cards. Now 3.8 seconds the delta. You've got to drive these very, very neat and tidy if you want to actually avoid spinning. 3.9 the gap is opening out slightly. Oh, Serene Logic spun it. Oh no. Now, is that a network failure or was that just a simple error? But that is DNF for Serene Logic. Now, will we get a restart or is that going to be that? But Johan Lundqvist provisionally is going to take this one and provisionally progress to the semis. That's really unfortunate. You see the car parked on the gravel there. So Johan Lundqvist, he is going to round the last corner. He's going to take it. 2-0. Provisionally progresses to the semis, but I think we're going to get a restart of that one. There's a disconnect for Nigel, so we're going to get another run at that. All right, let's go again. The restart, the rerun of the second quarterfinal in the Rallycross for a spot in that semi. Face Tomahawks. Okay. Second attempt and last attempt for the quarters.
Use the Joker lap to your advantage. You only need to take it once. If you miss it, you'll get a time penalty.
Here we go. Lundqvist on the outside. Nigel on the inside. Let's hope we don't have the same issues again. Here we go. Ready to race, light on. Green light, we're away. It's a better start from Serene Logic this time on the inside line now. Lundqvist going to take that Joker lap, of course. Now, Can he get it the same way he did it last time? Nice and neat and tidy out to that outside line. Keeps it tidy. Now, what's the delta? 4 seconds. Not as close as he was last time. Running a little bit deep into that sector. 4 seconds the gap at the first split. Now, what's it going to be? It may be the way of Serene Logic this time. It's 4 seconds on the nose once again as they come through the middle sector. None of the same issues for Serene Logic this time. Serene Logic has got to win this one. 4.3. He gains 0.3 in the middle sector, so it's going the way of Nigel at the moment. Up and over the jump. Here he comes. Is it going to be enough to displace Johan Lundqvist? Through the choke lap he comes. Where is Lundqvist? As they come down the hill, and it is Serene Logic in front by nearly 0.7 of a second. Exactly what he needs to do. Now he needs to keep his head. Hopefully none of the same issues in the middle sector. Absolutely none that time. So over the hill they come. Through the left. Keeps it straight. Johan's trying hard in the background. Look at him. Look at the... Oh, very close as they come to the last corner. But Serene Logic's going to hang on to win. And it's going to go to the tiebreaker once again. All right, it is tiebreaker time once again. Super 1600s, Opel Corsa. So it will be Serene Logic on the outside this time. Winner of this one faces Tomahawks in the semi-final. Got 2 more quarterfinals to go, and then we head to the semis. Quarterfinals of Rally up to come shortly. It is 1-1 in this quarterfinal. It's going to go to a tiebreaker. just like the other quarterfinal did.
Use the Joker lap to your advantage. You only need to take it once. If you miss it, you'll get a time penalty.
Tiebreaker race time. Be Lundqvist on the outside, excuse me. And Serene Logic on the inside. Super 1600s for a spot in the semis. Here we go. Ready to race. Green and we are away. There's a good start for Serene Logic. Gets the jump on Lundqvist as they head towards turn number 1. Lundqvist dives to the Joker, of course. Now gets it on the brakes nice and early. Gonna clip that curb, hit that apex, and onto the power as early as he possibly can. Joker lap done. Now get the head down. 3.9 the gap to Serene Logic at this first split. Down the hill they come. What's going to be? Is it going to be advantage Lundqvist or advantage Serene Logic? It's 3.9. It's identical split times between both of them. Up and over the hill they come for the first time. Third split coming up now. 4.2 it opens out to Serene Logic now. Here we go. It's all going to come down to the Joker merge. Between these two, it's 4.2 across the split times. Here we go. Into the Joker lap goes Serene Logic, flicks it in, turns it in, hits the apex nicely. And it's going to be Serene Logic who takes it. 0.8 of a second at the merge. Great job from the Dutchman. Not as close as it's not as close as I thought it'd be, as they came through the right-hander. Super 1600s going the way of the Dutchman as they come through the last sector. Into the last corner, and it's going to be Serene Logic. A spot in the semi goes to him. He wins and goes 2-1 versus Johan Lundqvist. So it's Serene Logic versus Tomahawks in the semi. Now it is the quarterfinals of Rally to come to 2 more quarterfinals. So next up, it'll be Jonathan Schaefer versus Carl Renoya. As far as I can see in that quarterfinal. And Mongol John versus Drez Adjo. All right. It is now quarterfinals time in the Rally. And this is going to be a great battle. Carl Renoya versus Jonathan Schaefer, the first one. So two CRG teammates. See who's going to be the strongest. Carl was looking very quick in those Metro 6R4s, so let's see if he can transfer that pace over. We haven't seen Jonathan Schaefer today, of course, automatically qualified because of his win in the top division of the rally. You can see on your screen semi-finals of RX Tomahawks versus Serene Logic. Winner of that goes straight to the final. And they'll be facing the fastest rally driver. I think we're just taking a quick breather for a second. While we just set up for the rally, guys. This is going to be a good one. Don't go anywhere. All right, drivers are in the lobby. Carl Renoya, Jonathan Schaefer. So it'll be Renoya on the outside, Schaefer on the inside. This the first of 3 races. All right, here we go. CRG teammates, Jonathan Schaefer, Carl Renoya for a spot in the semis.
Use the Joker lap to your advantage.
Metro
You only need to take
6R4
it
first.
once. If you miss it, you'll get a time penalty.
Renoya on your outside in the black, Schaefer on the inside in the white.
Important not to run wide in the penultimate corner because you'll leave
Estonian
yourself
versus
open
the Frenchman.
to attacks from behind.
Renoya was looking very strong in these 6R4s earlier. Let's see if he can bring that pace forward. What's Jonathan Schaefer going to be like? Ready to race, light on. Green light and wear away. Great start from Renoya on the inside, but again a good jump from Schaefer in the second phase of the start. Renoya going to take to the Joker as he flings that 6R4 in. Rotates it beautifully on the brakes. Four-wheel drive, of course, these 6R4s. And 3.1 the gap to himself and Jonathan Schaefer now. Gets it turned in. Can't afford to bog these cars down. They don't have a turbo. Still, they are pieces of kit. 3.2 to Jonathan Schaefer. So Schaefer opening the gap slightly in that second split. Up and over the hill they come. Third split is right here at the top of the hill. And it's 3.4-ish as they come through. So Schaefer is right now opening that gap out. Here we go to Schaefer now as he heads towards the Joker in that white 6R4. 3.5 the gap now. Just got to make sure that Joker is clean, and it is very clean. Beautifully done by Jonathan Schaefer. Down the hill they come, and he's out in front. Jonathan Schaefer, lovely job by the Frenchman. And he heads down that hill. The Scandinavian flicks it into the right-hander. Beautifully done by the rally champion. On the power, nice and early. Was very experienced in Rallycross as well, so this is not unknown territory to him. Jonathan Schaefer absolutely nails it, beautifully driven. And it's P1 in race 1 for Jonathan Schaefer as they come across the line. And he takes first blood. Jonathan Schaefer absolutely rapid in those 6R4s. Fastest time of the day in the 6R4. So now the cross carts. All right. It is now time for the cross carts. Can Jonathan Schaefer go 2-2-0, or will Renoya bring it back? Hard to find out. All right. It is crunch time for Renoya. He's got to win
Use the
this.
Joker lap to your advantage. You only need to take it once. If you
Wants to
miss
keep his
it,
hopes of
you'll
getting
get a
to the
time
semis
penalty.
alive. Here we go. Schaefer's got to take the Joker this time. Let's do it. Schaefer on the outside, Renoya on the inside. Ready to race. Green light and we're away. It is an even start once again. It's Renoya with a slight advantage heading towards turn 1, but Schaefer's obviously going to dive to that Joker as they head into turn number 1. Schaefer gets it nicely turned in to that, and down the hill 3.7 is the delta at the first split on the exit of the Joker. Now, is Renoya going to open out that gap? He's got to. 3.7 it was before. What's it now? 3.7 again. It's dead even between Schaefer and Renoya. Good driving so far from both of these teammates. Renoya pushing on. What's Schaefer going to bring it down? 3.9. It's opened out by 2/10 to Renoya in favour of Renoya. So here now, Carl over the jump. It's got to be a perfect Joker if he wants to take this one into the Joker lap. He goes onto the brakes, rotates it on the brakes, on the power. Where is Schaefer? It's going to be very close between the both of them as they head down, but Renoya is in front as they head into the next left-hander. But yes, Renoya is in front with a very clean Joker from the Estonian. Schaefer is going to try his best to get through here, but there's not going to be anything untoward between the two teammates here as they come up and over the hill. Schaefer is absolutely with him, though, as they come through the left-hander now. Is Schaefer going to chuck one up the inside? He's found space on the inside. Schaefer getting a little bit of contact, but Renoya is going to take it, and it's going to be a tiebreaker between the both of them. Brilliant, brilliant. Schaefer tried everything to get past there. They just couldn't do it. So now our first tiebreaker, the RX in the rally event, is of course the RX2. So our third tiebreaker in a row for the quarterfinals. It is tiebreaker time, and it's RX2 time. Car we haven't seen today. Here we go. RX2. Schaefer on the outside. Renoy on the inside. This is going to be a great battle. Of course, the RX2 is now becoming electric for the next season. So
Use the Joker lap to your advantage. You only need
Let's
to take
go.
it once. If you miss it, you'll get a time penalty.
the only appearance of the OMSE Ford Fiesta RX2s. Schaefer versus Renoya. I'm ready to race light on. Green and we're away. Great stop from Renoya. He's full car length in front as they head towards turn 1. How is that going to be costly for Schaefer? But he's going to take a wide line, take to the Joker, and flick that car in. Make sure not to bog the car down. It's very easy to bog this RX2 car down in the corners. 3.6 the gap between Renoy and Schaefer. That's why it's in the second split. 3.4 brings it down by 0.2 to Schaefer. In that middle sector now, up to the third split. It was 3.4. Has Renoya brought it up or has Schaefer brought it down? Schaefer's brought it down by 1/10. 3.3 seconds. This is going to be absolutely dead even at the merge as we come on now with Carl Renoya, the Estonian, trying to get to the semi-finals here into the Joker lap. Nicely on the brakes, on the handbrake. Where is Schaefer? It's going to be close on this merge. Here we go. It's going to be Schaefer in front by a head around the outside goes Schaefer, and Schaefer is in front by a car length. Brilliant job by the Frenchman. Lovely overtake. Left space for Renoya, but there was nothing the Estonian could do about that Frenchman around the outside. Brilliant stuff between the both of them teammates, of course. But here we go into the last sector. And no mistakes from Jonathan Schaefer around the last corner. Jonathan Schaefer through to the semis of the rally. Renoya loses out by just a small margin, but a great fight between both of those guys. Absolutely dead even. Now the final quarterfinal about to come up. The Mongo John versus Drez Adjo. Okay, here we go for the last quarterfinal. Bongo Jump versus Drezagio.
Use the Joker lap to your advantage. You only need to take it once. If you miss it, you'll get a time penalty.
All right, here we go. Quarterfinal. Adjo on the outside.
Run wide in the penultimate corner.
John on the inside.
You leave yourself open to attacks from behind.
Let's see. Ready to race. Green light, we're away, even start between the both of them, but again at that second phase, Adjo gets the jump on the outside line, he heads for the Joker in that black 6R4. Let's see if he keeps it clean in that Joker, yes he does. And he comes 2.6 the gap between John and Adjo in that first split. 0.6 again in the second. Comes through there. He looks like he's gained a bit of time in that right hander. Let's see as it comes over the top of the hill. It's going to be a 1.9 gap now between Adjo and John. Up and over the hill. Looks like it's going to be Adjo's going to take this one. 1.6 the gap now, which should be an easy one for Adjo to take. John into the Joker. Gets it wrong on the entry a little bit, but there goes Adjo out in front already. So like going to be an easy one for Adjo to take. Through the left, through the last corner. Adjo's going to take this one. John going to take the second place. Again, a 1:18 in the Group Bs. Great pace from Adjo.
Use the Joker lap to your advantage. You only need to take it once. If you miss it, you'll get a time penalty.
Alright, it's cross-car time. In the last of the quarterfinals. John on the outside. Adjo on the inside. Ready to race. Green, we're away, even start between the both of them. Gonna be John into the Joker this time. Brakes, gets it turned in. And spins it in the Joker. That's basically job done for Dres Adjo. Spin for John in the Joker. And that's left him. It's left him a long way off. So, barring any mistakes from Adjo, it's going to be an easy win for the Spaniard. Screams into the Joker. Gets it turned in. 0 mistakes. Comes out a long, long way in front of John. And through the right-hander. Keeps it steady. It's going to be a 2-0 for Adjo straight through to the semis. And he's going to face Jonathan Schaefer in the semi-final of Rally. And the last corner, 2-0. Adjo goes to the semi-finals in Rally. John is unfortunately going to be knocked out in this one. So with that, it means it's semi-final time. Just a few more races left, folks. 2 semi-finals, a consolation final, and the grand final. First semi-final is going to be Rallycross, of course. It's going to be Tomahawks versus Serene Logic. So, semi-final time.
Use the Joker lap to your advantage. You only need to take it once. If you miss it, you'll get a time penalty.
Semi-final time in the Race of Champions. Serene Logic on the outside, Tomahawks on the inside. In the Sail Ibiza. Winner of this one goes through to the grand final. Whoever wins this also technically becomes the champion of the Rallycross drivers, but doesn't really count. Here we go, ready to race. Green, and we're away. Even start between the both of them. It's going to be Serene Logic to take to the Joker on the outside line as per usual. Flicks it in there. And no mistake like last time, didn't hit the bank. And is now going to come out about 2.9 off the back of Tomahawks. Flings it through the left. What's the delta going to be at the bottom of the hill? Is it going to be 2.9? It's going to be 2.9 again. Flicks it into that right-hander. And chases after the Swede at the top of the hill now. 2.9 it was in the previous split. It's going to be 2.9 again. They're absolutely dead even as they come up in over the jump. Go to Tomahawks now as he pushes on towards the Joker. Flings it into the Joker. Where is Serena? It's going to be very, very close between both of them as they come down the hill. It's going to be Tomahawks just about as they come down the hill. Serena Logic with a little look up the inside, but he can't quite get up alongside his rival. Into the downhill braking zone. Tomahawk was nicely through there on the curve, very, very close. And still Nigel chasing him down in this last sector. Is he going to try a little plunge at the inside? He can't quite find the space. Tomahawks is going to take this one very, very close between them, but Tomahawks takes the supercars on a 1:14.3.
Use the Joker lap to your advantage. You only need to take it once. If you miss it, you'll get a time penalty.
It is cross-car time, so it's crunch time now for Serene Logic. He's got to win this. Can he do it? Tomahawk's trying to go 2-0 in the semi to go through to the grand final. Ready to race. green, and we are away once again. It's a better start for Serene Logic on the inside. Tomahawk's opens the line to head for that Joker. Gotta make sure no spins. If it's a spin, then it's gonna be day over, and just as I say that, he spins it in the Joker and retires from the race. And that is gonna be Serene Logic's race. How unusual. Was that a screen freeze or something that happened there? But Serene Logic carrying on nonetheless. So this is going to be Serene Logic's race. Whether that was just a mistake or some kind of disconnect, looks like possibly something could have happened there, but unusual. But either way, provisionally this is going to go to a tiebreaker. So Serene Logic going to win this one. And provisionally going to take it to a tiebreaker. Across the line, there it is.
Use the Joker lap to your advantage. You only need to take it
Tiebreaker
once.
time
If
for
you
the
miss
final.
You'll get a time penalty.
In the Super 1600s. So it's going to be Tomahawks on the outside line this time. Serene Logic on the inside. Here we go. Ready to race. green, and we are away. Even start once again between the both of them. Tomahawk's going to take to that Joker lap, of course, in the white Opel Corsa. She wants it in a little bit out of shape, runs a bit wide on the exit. In a matchup like this, things like that could be costly. 4.2 seconds the gap. In the downhill split, we're looking for, is it going up or down? It's 4.2, it's 4.2 again on the downhill split. Now on the uphill, this is nearly the most important split right here. 4.2 it was, what's it now? 4.1, a slight gain for Tomahawks that time. Now, the most crucial Joker merge of the whole night, here we go. Serene Logic versus Tomahawks for the grand final. On the brakes into the Joker. Nice and neat by Serene Logic now. Where is he? In comparison to Tomahawks, out he comes. And it's going to be Serene Logic in front. And blocks the apex on Tomahawks absolutely perfectly there. As they come down the hill, but it's Serene Logic in front as they head through the right-hander. Tomahawks all over the back, even though as they head up the hill, this could be right down to the last corner here between the both of them. Through the left, he's absolutely all over him here as they head into the last corner. But no mistakes so far between them. It's going to be Serene Logic by a very small margin, going to win this one and go to the grand final. Great fight between the both of them, but Serene Logic goes through to the grand final. Now, just 2 more rounds left, ladies and gentlemen. The semi-final of the rally and then the grand final. We will not be holding the consolation final at this point. So we're approaching the 3 hours we're going for, I think, at this point. Lost track of time, to be honest. So the semi-final of rally is going to be Jonathan Schaefer versus Drez Adjo. Winner of this faces Serene Logic in the grand final, best of 5 in the final.
Use the Joker lap to your advantage. You only need to take it once. If you miss it, you'll get a time penalty.
Semi-final time for the rally. It is Jonathan Schaefer versus Andres Adjo, who is on the outside line of this one in the black Metro 604. Let's see, can he displace Jonathan Schaefer? Ready to race, light on. Green, and we are away for the semi-final. Andres Adjo moving to that outside line to take the Joker. It's on the brakes, nice and early, flicks it in, beautifully done. In that 6R4, now the gap is 2.8 seconds at that first Joker split. So down the hill we come now. Is it going to be advantage Adjo or advantage Schaefer? 2.8, it's 3 seconds now, so advantage Schaefer at the moment, but not by much. As they come up the hill, 3.030 is the gap now. What's it at now? 3.025 marginal gains by Adjo as they come through the last corner. It's going to be very close between both of them. Schaefer over the jump. And now heads for the Joker. Got to get the Joker right. Flicks it in on the power nicely. Clips that apex. Down the hill he comes then. It's going to be Schaefer in front at the merge by just 0.3 of a second. Adjo put up a good fight there with Schaefer coming out on top on the merge. Keeping it nice and neat and tidy. So Schaefer, barring any mistakes in the last sector, is going to go 1-0 in the semi-final. Through the last corner, Jonathan Schaefer takes the win in the first race of the semi-final. And almost a 1:17, 1:18.1 is the time for Jonathan Schaefer, fastest time of the night in the 6R4s.
Use the Joker lap to your advantage. You only need to take
here
it
we
once.
go.
If you
Race
miss it,
2.
you'll get a time penalty.
Cross carts. This time it'll be Schaefer on the outside.
There is a small jump over the start line, but it's fast. Try not to hit it at an angle, as this makes for a quick journey into that barrier on the outside.
Schaefer on the outside to try and go 2-0 for the grand final. Here we go. Ready to race. Green, and we are away. So Jonathan Schaefer going to be able to take to the Joker on this lap, of course. And jump to the standard. In goes Jonathan. Slight little bog down in the Joker, but not too bad. 3.6 is the delta at the moment. Now, is it going to be advantage Adjo or advantage Schaefer at the bottom of the hill? It was 3.6, it's 3.5. Coming the way of Jonathan Schaefer at the moment. On the power. Up to this third split of the lap. It's going to be 3.6 advantage Adjo at the moment, marginally. Now, through the last corner, we're going to flip to Adjo as he begins the Joker that he needs to take this win, or he will be knocked out into the Joker. Flicks it in. Here comes Jonathan on that outside line. It's going to be very close, but I think Adjo is just going to get it, and he does. As they come into the hill, but here comes Jonathan Schaefer on the outside line. He's trying to have a little look up the inside. As they head down into the hills, maybe he's going to leave any space for Schaefer. Nothing that the Frenchman can do about this one, unfortunately for him. Down the hill they come. He's having a little look as they come down into the last corner, but barring any mistakes, Adjo, surprisingly, he takes it to a draw, and it's going to be a tiebreaker in the semi. Jonathan Schaefer with a little few donuts, as per tradition, for the Frenchman. So, Adjo brings it to a tiebreaker. That's going to be RX2.
Use the Joker lap to your advantage. You only need to take it once. If you miss it, you'll get a time penalty.
Tiebreaker. Jonathan on the inside this time. And Aljo on the outside. For a spot in the grand final. Who is going to take it? Ready to race. Green, and we are away. We will start for both of them. Schaefer's going to take to the standard. Aljo's going to take to the Joker. Clean Joker for Aljo that time. Very, very nice. And the gap is going to be 3.4 at the first Joker split. Down the hill they come. Aljo looking clean so far. Good job so far. It was 3.4, and now it's going to be 3.6. Schaefer opening it up. The crucial split is right here, though. This is where the time can be won or lost in a lot. It was 3.6, it's still 3.6, so Aljo keeping him honest. Again, it comes down to the Joker merge here. Up and over the jump goes Schaefer. Into the Joker. Schaefer's got to get this right. Gets it pointed. Through they come, and it's going to be Schaefer in front. Come out. Oh, there goes Aljo up the inside, barges his way through. It's going to be side by side down the hill between the both of them. Aljo launched one up the inside. Schaefer's got the inside for the next corner now, leaves him space. Schaefer is going to take this one, is he? It is so close between the both of them. Schaefer hanging on versus Aljo. Surely going to try and launch one up the inside here. Aljo here as they come through the last corner, but Schaefer's going to hang on and go through to the grand final in the Race of Champions. How close was that? So confirmed, your final is Serene Logic versus Jonathan Schaefer. With a best of 5 about to come up.
Use the Joker lap to your advantage. You only
Okay,
need
it
to
is
take it once.
grand
If you miss
final
it, you'll get a time
time.
penalty.
Best of 5, first one, Super 1600s Open Corsa. Nigel on the outside. Jonathan Schaefer on the inside. The best from Rally, the best from Rallycross. Now to go at it. Let's see who's the champion of champions. Ready to race. Green and away. Serene Logic going to take that Joker as they head towards turn number 1. Schaefer heading to the inside to the priority. So there goes Serene Logic into the Joker, nice and neat from the Dutchman that time. That was 3.6 at the Joker split. A little bit of understeer on the way through the left hander there. And now heading down into the split, is it going to be advantage Serene? Is it going to be advantage Jonathan? It's pretty even, 3.6 seconds at the moment. Now up the hill, crucial split up the lap. Here we go. It's going to be 3.2. He's nipped a lot of time out of Schaefer on that split alone. So here we go, across the line. Schaefer heading towards the Joker now. 3.2 is the split. Here comes Schaefer into the Joker. Watch out for Serene. He's going to come out in front of the Frenchman by 0.4 of a second. Advantage Serene in this first one. Now into the right-hander. No mistakes from anyone up and over the hill. Schaefer getting blinded by the dust. Into the left-hander, into the last corner. Keeps it steady. And Serene Logic is going to take the first one in this battle for the Champion of Champions title. Serene 1, Schaefer 0. The next up in this best of 5. Same track, of course, but we're going to be using the RX2 in the next race. Still wide open, this one. First blood to Serene Logic. We'll hop into the RX2s, and then we'll be ready to go in a few minutes' time.
Use the Joker lap to your advantage. You only need to take it once. If you miss it, you'll get a time penalty.
Alright, race 2 of a possible 5. RX2. Schaefer on the outside this time. Here we go. Ready to race. Green and we're away. Great start from Schaefer that time on the outside line as he heads towards the first corner. Dives into the Joker immediately. Can't afford to get it wrong here. Flicks it in. And that was perfect. Textbook from Jonathan Schaefer. 3.3 at the first split. Waiting to see who's going to be advantage. Schaefer or advantage. Serene as they come through the bottom is 3.1. That's 2/10 in favour of Schaefer and a little bit of cut. That's going to cost him time, Schaefer. As he heads down into the break zone, it was 3.1. It's 3.4 now. He's cost him 3/4. And into the last corner now. Serene Logic up and across the start finish. Heading for the Joker now. Can't afford to get it wrong. Can't afford to bog it down. That was again very neat and tidy. Down we go. It's going to be neck and neck, but it's going to be Serene Logic. But he runs wide and Schaefer takes him. But it's side by side down towards the hill here. It's going to be neck and neck and Serene Logic on the inside. Very close race in between the both of them. Still side by side as they come up the hill. This is brilliant between the both of them. Schaefer still a nose alongside as they come down into the last few corners. Schaefer gets it up the inside. Absolutely has none of it. And it's going to be Schaefer to take this one after an immense fight between the both of them. Schaefer makes it 1-1. What a finish. So it's now 1-1. So we're definitely going to get at least 4 races out of this one. Next up, Group B. The Metro 6R4. This should be the strong point of Schaefer. I think this one could come right down to the tie break, ladies and gentlemen.
Use the Joker lap to your advantage. You only need to take it once. If you miss it, you'll get a time penalty.
Race 3 of 5, potential 5. 6R4. Serene on the outside, Schaefer on the inside. Here we go. Ready to race. Green, and we're away. Schaefer and Serene Logic for race number 3 of 5. It's going to be Serene Logic to the Joker, Schaefer to the standard. Clean Joker from Serene Logic that time. 3 seconds the delta. And we know it's about 2.7, 2.8 at the merge, so right now it's advantage Schaefer. As they come down the hill, it's 3.1 now, a 10th nipped out by Schaefer that time. Now on the power up the hill. Going to be another 3.32 tenths again gained by Schaefer. Now last corner. Going to be Schaefer heading into the Joker this time. Schaefer gets it turned in nicely. Serene Logic is not going to come out in front of this one. It's going to be Schaefer all the way. Barring any mistakes from Schaefer, I think it's going to be all said and done. Schaefer a bit wide in the right-hander, but he gets it back together. Now up into the hill, through the left. And into the last corner. It's going to be Schaefer 2-1 in front. Heading into the next race, the race number 4. So it all comes down basically to this next race. Serene has got to win it. If Schaefer wins it, he is the champion. So the next car is the Seat Ibiza. So RX Supercars. A must win for Serene Logic. If he does not, then the champion is crowned as Jonathan Schaefer.
Use the Joker lap to your advantage. You only need to take it once. If you miss it, you'll get a time penalty.
It's crunch time. Serene Logic has got to win this one. Schaefer on the outside and Serene on the inside. Schaefer go 3-1, or will it be 2-2 heading into a tiebreaker? Let's find out. Ready to race. Green and we are away. Even start once again between the both of them. The Joker goes Schaefer. It's a little bit wide, but he brings it back together. Down the hill, it's going to be 2.6 at the Joker split. Now we're going to get an idea. 2.6 that time. What's it this time? 2.8. 2/10 in advantage of Serene. Up the hill this time. Into the left is going to be 2.5 again. Time nipped back by Schaefer. This is going to be absolutely dead heat at the merge. Let's keep our eyes on Serene. He's absolutely got to win this. Here we go into the Joker. Flicks it in, gets on the bank a little bit too much. Here we go. Where is Schaefer? It's absolutely neck and neck with Serene Logic in front. Schaefer trying to get a cutback line, but he can't quite do it. Schaefer is in front. Sorry, no, Serene Logic in front. Flicks it sideways in the right-hander. And now up the hill for the last time in this race. Through the left-hander. Schaefer trying everything. But it's not going to be enough, ladies and gentlemen. The grand final is going to go to a tiebreaker. It's 2-all. Serene Logic takes it. And it's going to be the cross carts to decide it all in this final race of the night.
Use the Joker lap to your advantage. You only need to take it once. If you miss it, you'll get a time penalty.
It all comes down to this. The grand final, the tiebreaker. Whoever wins this one is the champion of champions 2020-2021. Schaefer versus Serene Logic. John on the inside, Nigel on the outside. Who's going to take it? Ready to race. It is green and we are away. It's a great start for Serene Logic on the outside line. Schaefer going to take to the standard lap as per usual. Now, can't afford any spins, any mistakes in this one. Clean Joker lap from Serene Logic this time. Joker split, 3.3 at the merge. Into the left hand, we've got to be gentle with these cars. Down the hill, 3.3 it was. What is it this time? It's going to be advantage Schaefer. It's going to be advantage Schaefer, 3.4. A very clean right-hander from Serene Logic that time, 3.4 it was. Now it's going to be 3.3. Is nipped a 10th back again. It's all going to come down to this Joker merge, ladies and gentlemen. Schaefer over the start finish to try and take the title. Here we go into the Joker lap. Gets it turned in. We're watching for Serene Logic. It's going to be very, very close as they come down towards the left-hander, but it's going to be Serene Logic by an absolute inch on the outside line, side by side. It's Serene Logic in front as they come down the hill. Into the break, it's off of the right-hander. Serene Logic is wide. Schaefer up the inside. Has he got it done? They glue together, but Schaefer is in front. As they come up the hill, Serene Logic is mildly on the inside. As they come to the left, he's lifted up the inside. Contact between the both of them. Into the last corner, what a race. Jonathan Schaefer, champion of champions 2021. What a race. He's done it. Schaefer wins it. What a race. Unbelievable driving from the both of them. Jonathan Schaefer is the champion 2021. Absolutely on the limit from the both of them. They gave it absolutely everything. Congratulations to Jonathan Schaefer. He takes it for the Rally Boys. And he takes it. WEROC Champion of Champions 2021. Phew. And with that, that brings us to the end of the WEROC stream today. It has been an absolute pleasure to bring you the action. We've been going for almost 4 hours, unbelievably. But it had to come down to a tiebreak right at the end. And what a way to do it. But we'll be back once again in the future for another iteration of the WEROC. We hope that you enjoyed at home. I certainly did. And we will be back at some point in the future for another iteration of the World Racing Community Race of Champions. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Good night.